Welcome to In It to Win It. This is Steve Barton, and thank you for tuning in. We're here for Monday Market Moves, what happened last week in the markets, and what I expect for next week. Just a quick thank you to everyone that came to the Metals Investors Forum and the VRIC and saying hi. Loved meeting you guys. It was the highlight of my trip, so thank you. Alrighty, let's go to the charts. Starting out as always with the S&P 500. So hit a new all-time high today, Friday, recording this on Friday. Pretty exciting. Okay, so S&P 500 is up 1.7% for the week and hit a new all-time high. This surprised me. I thought that we'd already hit our all-time high and we're basically going to start working our way down. Looks like we got a little bit of a Trump premium in here, pardon the pun. And it's starting to pay off. Although on Monday, we got a little bit of a bearish reversal bar here. If I bring it out to the 30-minute, kind of looking like maybe it will get caught by this 30-minute 50 moving average here. But bias generally for next week is going to be down. Now, I pulled up the Mag 7 here. So anyone that's not familiar with the Mag 7, you've probably been living under a rock. But they are NVIDIA, Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Google, Meta, and Tesla. So I'm going to flip through these charts right here, and you can kind of see that generally speaking, when we're on this end of the chart, we want to be selling, and when we're down here, we want to be buying. Now take a look at where all these stocks are. So there's NVIDIA. This is Apple starting to roll over. It'll probably hit that 200 moving average and bounce. Microsoft up towards this end of the chart, just kind of been going sideways for a while. There's Amazon, all-time highs. Google, same thing. Meta, same thing, all-time highs. And Tesla starting to roll over a bit, maybe a bit of a pennant there. Anyhow, now if we go here, love this software trading view. We right-click, go to financials. It'll tell us all the sweet stuff here. What this is telling us, so for the share price, 142, basic earnings per share. That's what it means is, if you give them $142 for the year, you buy one share, at the end of the share, you should realize $2.57. So if you take 142 and divide it by 2.57, you'll get 57.99. All right? This is the price to earnings ratio. So basically, 142 bucks, at the end of the year, you get about $2.50. What a screaming deal, right? Apple, you give them $222, and at the end of the year, you get $6. Price to earning, 36. Microsoft, you get $444. You get $12 at the end of the year. Amazon, even better, $234. You get $4.78 at the end of the year. That works out to 50 to 1. That's your price to earnings ratio. Google, price to earnings ratio is a little better. That's 26, right? And Meta, 29, and Tesla, this one takes the cake. So you give them $406 of your money, and at the end of the year, they'll give you a profit of $4. Now, let's compare and contrast that. Price to earnings ratio is 112. Now, this isn't hard and fast rules, but it's a quick way that you can look at these things and kind of get an idea of whether they're fairly valued or not. So let's go to Exxon over here, right? You give them $108, and at the end of the year, you get $8. That gives you a price to earnings ratio of 13. 13 is better than anything we just mentioned. Chevron, same kind of thing. Give them $155. They'll give you 9, and price to earnings ratio is 17. And Canadian Natural Resources. So you want heavy sour crude out of Canada. Give them $31. At the end of the year, you'll get north of $2.50. Price to earnings ratio is 13. Blackstone Minerals, same kind of thing. Price to earnings ratio, 9.5. How about Devon? What's Devon look like here? Give them $36. At the end of the year, you get almost 5.5. Price to earnings ratio is 6.7. So, are we in a bubble? You tell me. So these are the Mag 7. If we add up, watching Adrian Day's presentation out at the VRIC, if you add up NVIDIA, Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, and Google, and I checked his work, and it came out to 15.3 trillion. 15.3 trillion is the market cap of these 5 added together. If you take the market cap of all the gold that has ever been mined on the planet, That comes out to $14 trillion. So what this market is telling us is that NVIDIA, Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, and Google right now are worth more than 5,000 years worth of humans mining gold. Let that sink in. All right, the dollar is down 1.8% for the week. Support, as I see it, is you actually do have a little bit of support here at 107.25, but the big support that I see is going to be at 106.50. Bias for this one is down. The 10-year Treasury has changed the yield slightly by 0.13%, so it is now 4.62%. I think it is more likely that we're going to 5% than we're going to 4%. And the 10-year yield minus the 2-year yield continues to trade in this little channel. We are above the zero line, so we're out of upside down clown world. And it is up 4.1%. So long duration debt is paying more than short duration debt by a ratio of about 1/3 of 1%. And 1-month Treasury is still floating around 4.3%. So if you're a little nervous about the market, and you should be, this is where you can hide your cash. Gold, story of the week, up 1.1%. So this is pretty exciting. We are tapping on the door of new all-time highs. We got very close to there. So our previous all-time high was $2,801.80, and we almost got there. We got $2,794.80. So we got within $7 of that. Pretty exciting. Looking like it's probably going to hit new all-time highs next week. Short time frame here, if we go out to the 30-minute, almost kind of looks like a little baby head and shoulder pattern here. Not really sure if that means anything or not, but as far as on the daily, it looks like it's going higher, maybe intermittently. Maybe once it hits the Asian market on Sunday, we'll get a little bit of selling pressure. We'll see. And gold divided by the S&P 500. Gold lost about 0.6% compared to the S&P 500, but not to worry, we're at 0.455. So once we get up to 0.5 and beyond, then we will be off to the races. And CEF, air quotes, physical gold and silver on the stock market, is up 1.9%. I don't really see any buys right here along the gold and silver companies. If one pops up, I'll mention it. But see, RSI is all pretty high, 61. I don't really see any buys in here. If you're looking to take some profits, actually, in some of these gold ones, if you've been in these a long time and you want to go a little bit heavier cash, I wouldn't blame anyone on that one bit. Probably need to move this resistance line up I'm still on that. There we go. Probably need to move this up just slightly right around there, like 25.50. PHYS, physical gold on the stock market, getting close to an all-time high here. Not going to eclipse this one back here, but if you want to take some profits, your RSI is at 68. GDX up 3.3%. Now, this is where it's getting exciting with the miners here, is we're having gold hit all-time highs, and these miners haven't gotten anywhere close to that. So got a lot of room to make up here, although I don't see any buys technically on the charts. Your moment was back here, around when they paid the dividend. That would have been a nice point, but it's around the 200-day moving average, which is good. Same with GDXJ, still hovering around the 200-day moving average. So if you have no position in this and you want to get some gold miners, then I think around the 200-day is a decent place to do it. But I like these green lines that I drawn back in here a little bit more. So for GDXJ, that would be 41. And Franco, Nevada is up 3.4% for the week. So we had an interview with Adrian Day at the VRIC, and we talked about this one. How did we find this company, and how did we get into it back here at $101 and $106 and $110, and now it's sitting at $130? We saw it sell off when Panama shut down their Cobre asset. And then I asked the two guys that I knew would know better than me, and that was Rick Rule and Adrian Day. And yes, boys and girls, we were talking about the Rule classroom. So if you haven't joined the Rule Classroom yet, it's my favorite price. It's free, and you can get it as an app on your phone. It's called the Mighty app, and you can listen to the content in the classroom on your drive to and from work or wherever you want. And for more serious investors, we have the Rule Classroom Plus, currently $29 a month. I believe that's going up in February, so it's not going to last long. But if you join now, you're grandfathered in. And this Wednesday, Adrian Day will be putting on a class, and he's been hinting at an options class. So I've been looking forward to this one. I would love to see you guys there. There's a link in the pinned comment below. I will see you in the Rule Classroom. And Wheaton Precious Metals up 3.9%. I think kind of anywhere, starter position around the 200 moving average. You've got a rising 200-day moving average. So around where it's at now. But I really like the stink bid down here of 52.50, although it may not hit. Gold Royalty Corporation up 2.5% for the week. So love a stink bid down here at $1.18. I just interviewed these guys while I was out in Vancouver, and I've gotten a lot of questions on how much money I'm charging these guys to interview them. Not just Gold Royalty Company, but any of the ones I'm interviewing. And I don't accept anything for interviewing them. I interview them because I own them or because I'm interested in owning them. And if I do own them at the beginning of the show, I will let you know by saying something like, "Thank you for your efforts on behalf of shareholders such as myself." That's a dead giveaway. And if I do decide to accept money from these companies, I did it once and I haven't done it since. That was a few years ago. But if I do decide to accept money from them in the future, I don't plan on it, but if I do, I will let you know visually on the screen. It will say that they're sponsoring the show. I will let you know verbally. I will tell you, and I'll also put it in words down in the notes below. So I'll let you know that way. But no, I'm not taking any money from this. I just want to interview them, and I want to make money by betting on the company. All right, Origin Royalties. So this one has had a nice little bump here. This week it's down 4.5%, but is that right? Let me double check my work here. Yeah, down 4.5%. Okay. But it's had a nice run up here, just caught the 200-day moving average, shot up. Probably going to go up a little bit more, especially if gold goes up. We've got really interesting arbitration going on right now with Altius, who has the other royalty on the Silicon Merlin deposit. And I think we're a few months away, maybe 2 months away from this thing having a real re-rating. I tried to get an interview with Altius at the VRIC, and they said that they could talk about anything except the recent news around the Silicon Merlin deposit. They're kind of in a blackout period for that. And so I didn't take the interview. I figured I really wasn't interested in Altius unless I could get information on this permit on what's going on in the Silicon Merlin, and that's the one thing that they couldn't talk about. So in 60 days, they said that they would be more than happy to talk about anything around that, but for that moment, they couldn't speak on it, and so I didn't do the interview. But I did do an interview with Adrian Day, and he gave us his long opinion on it. So stay tuned for that episode. I believe it's coming out on Tuesday. So stay tuned for that. And Barrick Gold is up 0.8% for the week. So I think the buy point is right around this line here, maybe $15.25, somewhere around in that ballpark. Does almost look a bit like a bear flag here. Let me draw it for you, kind of like that, and that. So we may get some more downside here in Barrick, and that would make a lot of sense with what's going on in Mali. You guys have heard, I'm sure, about how they confiscated. I think it was $350 million in gold from that mine out there. So some governments steal secretly, others steal blatantly, and Mali is one that steals blatantly. But they all steal. Newmont up 0.9%. So your guys' limit orders hit for Newmont. I think that just wait for some little more pullbacks here. I think they're coming. We got high RSI on all these gold stocks, so don't really see any buys here. Agnico Eagle, same kind of thing. Hit some new all-time highs this week, up 5.8% for the week. So if you guys didn't take profits back here, I know everyone got in down here, or at least listeners that have been with us that long. If you're new to the show, this is not the time to buy. This is not the time to buy. This is the time to be selling or trimming your position. So we moved past the point of concern. In other words, everything we bought, we sold half of it, paid our taxes and all that. If you didn't do that, now's your second chance. We don't always get second chances, but here we did. So if on Monday you want to move past the point of concern, this is your chance to do it. And then from there, you can be in this stock for free and ride it for the rest of the bull market. B2 Gold up 0.4% for the week. So a little bit of news on this one. They're going to issue $350 million in convertible notes, essentially like kind of taking a loan so that they can convert this stock to later if they want. Now, they haven't said what the interest rate is yet or what the price or terms or anything is going to be, so we don't really know how to calculate this. But I took a risk here and I bought another option. Now, so I've got two options on this thing, both fairly long dated. One is long dated as far as it would go out. So one's January of 2026, so a year, and then another one is 2 years out, so January 2027, both at a $2.50 strike price. I think we're entering a gold bull market. I think that this company is going to kill it. And, there's a lot of, people that don't think so because that's why the share price has been whacked. And they also probably don't like that $350 million in convertible notes, which I think is why it sold off. But it hit our little point back here at $2.35, and I took another option out on it. I don't own any straight up shares. I'm just taking options on this one as a super leveraged bet. Equinox Gold is up 0.5% for the week. Interviewed these guys, Miss Bailey, the IR person for Equinox Gold. That interview will be coming out soon. And interviewed them out at the VRIC. And I even got to interview Ross Beatty. So that was a bucket list for me, kind of like it was with Robert Kiyosaki a few years ago. Bucket list item. So thank you, Ross. I'm sure you're not watching, but I'm grateful. And G Mining Ventures up 4.8% for the week. I just interviewed Jesse, IR person from there. So check it out last week, that interview. If you ever wanted to take profits in this one, I don't think I'm going to. I've debated with it, but I don't think so. I think they just got too much stuff in the works here. Looking really good with Oko West, looking really good with Central Gold. I think this is going to be one that I'm going to hold for quite a while for the duration of the bull market. I contemplated moving past the point of concern. If you're going to do it, now's the time. But I think I'm just going to hang on to this one for a while. Rio 2 up 5.5% for the week. Construction is going fantastic. You can check my Twitter feed. There'll be a link in the YouTube notes or whatever for my Twitter if you want to catch up on Rio 2. Construction's going great. I think this 38-cent limit order is a pipe dream. Unless we get a worldwide global recession, then it might hit. But otherwise, I don't think it will. But it's there just in case it does. I think this is going to go fantastic. Now, silver up 0.1% for the week. So this one's looking pretty good here. Okay, so we're up above the rising 200-day moving average, which is fantastic. Consistently closing above $30, kind of that nice round number for everyone, right? If it continues closing above this rising 200-day moving average, this is looking really good. If we have a weekly close below this daily 200 moving average, we haven't had one of those in a long time. They had a couple of closes here below it, but it wasn't a weekly close. So that's awesome. If we do get a weekly close below that, and ideally below this 200 moving average and below 30, then I think we're going to 28 and possibly even 26. But those are our next support levels is 30, then 28, and then 26.50. Bull Guy says, Steve, I think it can be misleading to use the spike in silver from the 70s as a data point. Okay, so I brought this up, I think it was last week or the week before. And basically what he's talking about, I was talking about silver going, and I was using these as reference points right here. So this is the one he's talking about. The Hunt brothers caused that spike, this one right here back in 1980, and it killed them. Now, the 2011 spike is a better example, in my opinion. He's talking about this one. Inflation from 2011 puts that somewhere around 125 to 150 bucks by my rancher math. Well, all I was getting at here is the volatility of silver, which is one of the things that draws me to it and one of the things that draws me to uranium. So I was just using those spikes as an example, but we can use this one here. So 1971 to 1974, we had over a 300% spike there. Pretty impressive. Now, if we use this other one, we'll call it the Hunt Brothers one, and we'll just take it down here somewhere and up over 700%, right? Then we have another little baby one right here from like 82 until 83. I mean, look at the volatility on this thing. If you were psychic and caught the bottom there, and just like, 8 months later, almost 200%. That's all I was getting at, is that we have these massive spikes in this, and you got to be in these things to win them. I mean, okay, so the most recent one here, take a look at this one from the lows of the cerveza sickness to the highs. I mean, that's 150% in just a few months. I mean, that's incredible. So that's all I was getting at. Maybe you're right in that is an anomaly, but those are the kind of events that can really move this sector. It's such a small market. I mean, go ask all your friends and ask, find out how many of them are like stacking silver. There will be almost none. Okay, that's why this market is so awesome, is because you can have these violent swings one way or the other, and you can make money both ways. All right, gold to silver ratio. Gold outperformed silver by 1% this week. We are now 89 ounces of silver to 1 ounce of gold. And PSLV, physical silver on the stock market, up above this 200 moving average. We got increasing volume here. This is looking pretty good. I like a stink bid down here, 950. That may be a little cheap. I've had that there for a while, and we missed it twice here, so maybe bump it up 15 or 20 cents. And SIL. Okay, I drew this so I wouldn't forget about it. Almost looking like a bit of a bear flag here, but so something to be aware of. I still like limit orders at 32 and 30. SIL is up 2.4% for the week. SILJ is up 1.6% for the week. This one almost looks like a bear pennant. Let me draw it here, and then maybe it'll stand out a little bit more. So we got down there, and then up here. As I'm drawing it, it doesn't look like it quite as much. Maybe that way. I don't know. Tell me what you guys think in the notes below. And Pan American Silver is up 4.6% this week. So possible even bear flag on this, but I still like anywhere around this 200 moving average and the distinct bid around 19. Oh, this is kind of cool. I got to meet the guy. Okay, so we all know about Pan American Silver. One of the main reasons we're in it is because we got those two mines for free, the one in Guatemala and then the one down in Argentina. I got to meet at an after party up at the VRIC. The guy, I'm putting myself on the spot here. His name was Paul Lakota. He discovered Navidad down in Argentina. But one thing that was a little bit discouraging about that is I was saying, like, I don't think either one of those mines are priced in the stock. And he confirmed, no, they are not. But he really doesn't think that Navidad's ever going to happen. And he said that, I mean, they got like 450 million ounces of silver or something like that. To get up to tier one, according to Rick standards, you need like, I don't know, a fifth of that, right? And anyways, he said basically the way it is you got, you have Argentina, and you have the coastline, and then you've got the mountains. And he said that's where most of the population is, along the coast and in the mountains. And then in the middle is where you have Navidad. He said now that all the people that live in the middle around Navidad, they want it to become a mine because they're all going to get jobs, right? The ones on the coastline and the ones in the in the mountains, they don't want it to become a mine, and that's where all the voter base is. So, although we do have Malay in there, and of course he would want to bring it online because it would bring the country a boatload of money, the voting base, just like anywhere in politics, the local politics, it has to pass first and then move on to the federal, and so he doesn't think it'll happen. So, anyhow, if you have that one priced in, then take that for what it's worth. All right, and Endeavor Silver. Okay, I drew this head and shoulder, I think last week or the week before. Still hasn't really played out, but we'll see if it does or not. So if you've been looking to get this one cheaper, I think it will happen. Although rising RSI rate here kind of makes me think that that's not going to, but we shall see. And this is a new one here, Argenta Silver. So I took a small position in this, and I met this guy. I met the company out in the Metals Investors Forum in Vancouver recently, and I placed a small bet. Very leveraged to silver. Isn't quite the deposit that, would classify as a tier 1 for Rick. It's about half of that right now, and that's all inferred. So, it's indicated. It's like 45 million ounces, something like that. But Frank Juster's behind this one. It looked decent on the charts. I mean, lowish RSI, 33. So took a stab. We'll see how it works out. And copper, paging Dr. Copper, down 1.1% for the week. Looking like it's probably going to go down next week. Might have a baby bear flag in there. I'm sorry, bull flag? No, never mind. Disregard. Looking like it's probably going to come down. This upward channel trend line will be the first thing to catch it if it does. Gold divided by copper. Gold outperformed 2.2% this week, so it now takes 643 pounds of copper to buy 1 ounce of gold. I'd like to see what that actual volume looks like. That'd be interesting to see. And the physical copper trust by Sprott. So we might be starting to level out here a little bit, but it's still trading at a pretty massive discount. It's around 15% when I did the math halfway through the day, so maybe that's not quite as accurate as it could be, but it's within 1% or 2%. So it's still trading at a pretty good discount. So like that, this is up 0.7% for the week. And COPX might be getting another shot at this one. I really like buy orders down here around 38, although now is probably fine. COPX is up 0.3% for the week, so we want to be buying copper on weakness over the next year or so, and this is weakness. COPJ up 0.5% for the week. Like the buy zones here, 1775, 1735, somewhere around there. Although now no, actually I don't like it for a buy now. RSI is 49. Looks like it's probably going to go lower. And Freeport is down 6%. Is that right? Yeah, 6%. Down 6% for the week. If you wanted some Freeport, I don't think now is terrible, although I like 36 a lot better. And Maduro Capital up 3.7% for the week. So I moved my limit. You guys remember I had my limit order down here at 9 cents for like ever, and it just never hit. I ran into Teo at the VRIC when I was about to interview Sam Lee of North Isle. And I thought she said that she was going to be at Roundup, which is a conference after the VRIC. And so I, in a hurry, bought some Maduro because typically, I mean, this company's worth like 12 million. Let me double check. 13 million. Typically at these conferences, when you have a company that's worth so little, in relation to, anyhow, they usually have a spike. And I must have misheard her, and I thought she said she was going to be at Roundup, but I must have misheard her because I didn't see her in the lineup when I went and checked after I bought. Unfortunately, I checked and I didn't see any. I didn't see her there, and I didn't see anything in their news release or any of that. So, anyways, I moved my limit order, but I'm happy with the company. I got in at 12.5 cents, and we're basically waiting on a drill result from BHP. And uranium is down 3.8% for the week. So this is just the spot price. Term price is still in the low 80s. We got Justin Hune scheduled about a month from now, the end of February. Still love uranium. Still bullish on it. Oh, I also interviewed Warren Irwin. So we'll be having his episode will be coming out soon. And gold divided by U308, gold outperformed by 5.1%, so it's killing it. And SRUUF, the Sprott Physical Uranium Trust, is down 1.9%, still 66.2 million pounds. Get a nice discount going. I think it's around 7 or 8%, something like that. I think now is a good time to buy. And Cameco is up 8.5% for the week. So I would look to add on this one. Kind of around the 200 moving average, somewhere around here, and look to take profits up here around 60. And URNM is up 4.7% for the week. A couple of weeks ago, I think was a good time, right around this upward channel, green trend line right here. We colored it green for go. And now I don't see a buy. I want to see this come back down and touch the green trend line again, which in time it inevitably will. URNJ is up 6.8% for the week. Same kind of thing. I want to see limit orders down here around 1850 and 1750 for stink bids. So basically the same thing as URNM. And the juniors, divided by Kazatomprom, Cameco, and the Sprott Physical Uranium Trust, the juniors actually outperformed this week by 2.7%. They've typically been underperforming, though. I mean, like, we want to see them above this white line, not below it. And UROY killed it, up 15.1% for the week. Got some resistance now. So if you got in down here and you're a trader, you've had a nice little bounce here. What is that? Over 20%? Yeah, 20, 25, 28%, something like that. I think now's a decent time. They were at the VRIC, so a little bit of a bump here from, doing some publicity, right? The reason we do these things. And UEC, same thing. They were at the VRIC. If you want to take a little profits, I know a lot of you guys hit this double bottom right here, and look at what you've done. So if you're a trader, look at this right here. Nice little bump up there, 25% in just a few days. That's kind of some of the leverage you got. I probably should have taken an option out on this thing. Now that I'm looking at it, hindsight's 2020. I can see straight looking backwards. But anyways, if you guys haven't moved past the point of concern on this one, I think now's a decent time to do it. And crude oil is down 3.5% on WTI. And, I think uranium is probably moving up next week. All right, and Brent is up 0.3% for the week. So I didn't play this reversal. I Drip didn't play out quite like I thought. There's another one called Gush that is a 2x bull. Drip is basically a 2x bear, and it didn't really play out like I thought. But who was it that told me? Oh, Keystone said, I think USO would be a good fund to short or buy puts on to bet against the oil price. So if anyone's done this, I mean, this seems to track it pretty well. If anyone has done this, I would be curious. Let us know in the comments below. Gold divided by crude oil. Gold outperformed, kind of like against everything else except the S&P, right? Up 4.8%. So it now takes 37.2 barrels of oil to buy 1 ounce of gold. We got a letter here. We met Dustin out at the conference. He says, "Hi, Steve. Great running into you and Gloria yesterday. I want to share the motorcycle relief project." So this is for first responders. I'm going to share my screen here. This is kind of cool. Basically, what it is it's free if you want to go out with other first responders, firemen, paramedics, cops, and you can do a relief ride here. And basically it's, for those suffering from PTSD, being in the business, I can definitely relate to. So it's for veterans and first responders. They don't make a dime doing it. They all volunteer. And he said, if you wouldn't mind sharing it on your channel one day, I'd appreciate it. So here you go. I will put a link down in the notes below if you guys are interested in this. You can sign up, check it out. Looks like a lot of fun. Apparently, it's a 5-day event where you ride off in the dirt and, hop from restaurant to restaurant and basically just have fun. So I will let you guys check it out. Dustin, thank you for sharing. And it was awesome meeting you out there. It was pleasure was all on this side of the table, sir. All righty. And XLE is down 2.8% for the week. So could have taken some profits up here on XLE. I know a lot of you guys got in down here when the RSI was absolutely in the toilet at like 18 and just rode it all the way up. RSI up to 72. That could be your trading opportunity right there. If you're in this for the long term, which I am, then just collect your dividends and forget about it. And ExxonMobil down 3.3% for the week. Possible bear flag ironing out right here. You guys can probably already see it without me drawing it, but I'll do it anyways. So we go like this and that and something like that. Oh, that was a terrible drawing. Anyways, you can see the basic thing of it. So we might actually have some more downside here in oil. We'll see how things iron out with the Trumpster in office and if drill baby drill actually works. But remember, he could say drill baby drill all he wants. The oil companies actually have to do it. And I don't think they have any vested interest in lowering the cost of oil. So how did I cherry pick these bottoms right here? How did I do that? Well, I will tell you how. This software, TradingView, you can check this out. It is free. There's a link down in the notes and the pinned comment below. You guys could try it out for free. You don't get all these cool indicators that I got on here, but for free, you can start with some of the simple ones and just play along and learn as we go. I love this software. There's absolutely no obligation to try to buy it. If you don't like it, well, it was free. And Chevron is down 3.6% for the week. I don't see any buys right here. It'll be interesting to see. Initial support is going to be around 153, 154, just right around where this 200 and this 50 moving average is. But it just crossed below right down here. So I think we have more downside than up. And Canadian Natural Resources, heavy sour from our neighbors to the north. Need to wait for some buys here. I don't see any buys right now, but I like a limit order at 29.75 and then a stink bid at 26.50. Blackstone Minerals down 2.3% for the week. Probably could have run a put on this if I was really on it. If I wasn't at the conferences last week, I probably would have caught this. But I mean, had this white line drawn, just looks like a put here. The one thing that's going to catch it, I think, is this 200-day moving average, but it just crossed below. With oil dropping, I think this might actually be a decent put. And Freehold Royalties down 1.3% for the week. So fantastic dividends on this one, pays monthly. I like buys pretty much now, and then you had this stink bid opportunity down here at just north of $12 recently. Natural gas up 2% for the week. I think oil's probably going down for the week. And natural gas looks like it's going to keep going up. I think it'll go up for the week, just in a strong up channel trend right here. And especially with the cold weather, I think that is helping a lot. Devon Energy finally caught a little breather, bounced up, and then just corrected down last week, down 5.2%. We got the 50 moving average to catch it here. But remember, we went all the way down from an RSI of 16 all the way up to an RSI of 73. Totally natural for it to catch a little breathing room right here. I think it's still a good buy, but I liked it a lot better at $30 than I do at 36. Woodside down 2.6% for the week. So closed below the 50-day moving average. So my bias on this one is actually down next week. And Birchcliff up 7.7% for the week. Now, thank you to, I'm putting myself on the spot. I can't remember who told me. Someone told me that maybe it was Keystone again, said that Birchcliff lowered their dividend. So this is a little discouraging. We went from 7 cents a share down to like 2. Yeah. 2.1 cents a share. So not fantastic. That is a bit of a bummer, that lowering the share quite a bit. Now, they have done this in the past, but hopefully this is not the norm. We'll see. I'm not sure if they're buying back shares or what's going on here. If anyone's got more information, that's as far as I looked into it. So let us all know in the comments below. See that rhyme I did there? Pato up 1.4% for the week. It'll probably retrace a little bit and come back down and touch this 200-day moving average. And coal, thermal coal is up 0.6% for the week. Bias for this one is up next week. Met coal is down 1.7% for the week. Bias is down. So we got updated ones here from Matt Warder. That episode came out yesterday. I'm talking like in the future because I'm recording this on Friday, but it comes out tomorrow. But you're watching this on Sunday, so it came out yesterday. So we got new updated lines here for thermal coal between 110 and 150 is kind of the range bound that Matt sees. And for met coal, between 180 and 220 are the range bound that he sees there. And our favorite coal ETF up 0.9% for the week. So we are 9.6 million assets under management, 470,000 shares still. A nice little catch here at $20. I like a limit order for that. And Glencore is up 1.2% for the week. So we have rumors through the ethos that there could be a merger between Glencore and Rio Tinto. That would be kind of exciting if that happened. I think generally the play is probably just buy shares of Glencore if that's actually true. And AMR is up 0.6% for the week. So our long-time limit order of 186 finally hit. Got an RSI down to 19 on the day that happened. That was cool. Finally caught it. When you get an RSI of 19, that's usually a bottom. BTU is up 0.3% for the week. Still bitter about the option that I tried to catch here on Monday the 13th that just ran away from me, which was an absolute bummer. Still have an option on it that expires in about a month. We really need this thing to run for this to be profitable. Platinum up 0.7% for the week. So looking pretty good. Had a little retracement here and then it hit up but could not close above the 200-day moving average. Bias for this one next week is up. I'm sorry. Well, that's a tough one, actually, now that I'm looking at it. Probably down, actually. Yeah, that looks like a bearish reverse bar down. So I'll say down for platinum. And PPLT, easy one, limit orders. You guys already had your limit orders in for 85. So newbies that are new to platinum, this is an easy way to play it. Put a limit order in here for $85 and then another one for $82.50 and then a stink bid in for $80. And Palladium is up 4.4% for the week. So we got a possible cup pattern right here that could be exciting. And I will draw it for you here. So we need at least 7 weeks on a cup and handle pattern. So this started in the beginning to middle of December. So here's the cup. And if we iron out with the handle like this, and it does not trace more than 50%, ideally only 38, and it takes 7 weeks to get out there, then we will have a cup. There's a lot of ifs there, so we'll see how this plays out, and we will keep watching it. PALL up 3.5% for the week, so still that cup pattern. We'll see how it plays out. Limit orders at $83 and $80, and also, maybe a first starter position at $85. And SPPP is up 1.8% for the week. So your limit orders at $9 hit twice recently. So good on you for getting in there. If you're brand new to the show, that's the limit order you want. And then a stink bid at $8.75. And then a real stink bid at $8.25. But that probably won't hit. All right. And platinum divided by silver. 1 kilo of silver will get you 1 ounce of platinum. And we're pretty much at 3 ounces of platinum to 1 ounce of gold, so extremely cheap. I don't think it would be a mistake to trade some silver or gold, or maybe a little bit of both, for some platinum. Nickel is, that's what I do. There we go. Nickel is down 2.8% for the week. So, oh, darn it. That cursor there. Nickel is down 2.8% for the week. So, bias for this one is sideways to down for next week. Shared an article in the Rule Classroom. So, click on the free link down below to the Rule Classroom and you can check it out. Thank you, Han. Indonesian villages are being destroyed by the nickel miners out there, just as Rick predicted, and it's getting worse. I think the real question is, can the Red Dragon pay off the Indonesian politicians to buy their silence? I am talking a bit in code here. More than, so basically, can they pay off the Indonesian politicians, like more than those small villages can make noise and get the politicians to get the mines to shut down and kind of clean up their act? So essentially, by placing a bet on nickel here, you're betting that the small villagers will be able to get to their politicians more than the rich, deep pockets of, China. So I don't know. Now that I've verbalized that, maybe this is a stupid bet, but we'll see. NIKL is up 0.2% for the week. So I think we might have a short-term bottom here. Looks like it's kind of leveling out. I think anywhere around now is okay. And Centaurus Metals finally got a bid under this one, up 9.5% for the week. Hit right on that 200-day moving average, kind of right in between the 50 and the 200-day. Not that technicals matter a whole lot in this company. It's such a small market cap, but looking good on the charts. So if you guys had a limit order in there, I've been talking about 21 cents forever, so it's probably one of you guys that got this. Good on you. And iron ore is up 0.1% for the week. Bias for next week is sideways. BHP down 0.4%. Had this 47.50 drawn in here for a while. Maybe that's a little too high. Maybe you should just settle on like 48, 49 bucks and probably be a lot more sure of a hit. Like this company for their dividends, and I think they will do well in a commodities bull market. And Rio Tinto up 1.6% for the week. So this 57 right here might have been a little bit too cheap. The $60 range just kind of seems like the no-brainer that just seems to always hit every 6 months or so. So that might be the better number. And the PIC ETF is up 0.1% for the week. So a lot of limit orders hit back here for 35. Good on you. I still like that level a lot. I don't really like any buys right now. There's actually kind of a decent amount of resistance where it's at here at the 36, 36.50 range. Yeah, RSI is middle of the road. I don't see any buys now. Nutrien up 2.2% for the week. So we are just probably a buck away from a breakout in this thing. I don't really see any buys right here. I really like these buys down here at 44, 45 bucks when we were talking about them, but just had a nice little run here. What is that, like 20% or am I off? Oh, yeah, about 20%. Had a nice little run here. So we are just a few, maybe $1 or 50 cents away from a breakout here. If it gets above the 400-day moving average, I think we could actually have a pretty good breakout here in agricultural stocks. And Bitcoin is up 3.2% for the week here. So pretty incredible. Still going up. I think we might have a bit of a Trump premium. I think I used that word before. Got a comment here from Zolt. He says, Trump coin, huh? Oh, that's right. Trump came out with his own coin. How do you describe a bubble? The president of the United States comes out with his own cryptocurrency. And he says, Trump coin, huh? The stupidity. I'm going to do my own cryptocurrency. I can't say that word on the air. This has to be stopped. The whole crypto idiocy. Basically, I think that eventually, I see this as like the NFTs. All these other, they have fart coin. I even saw a butthole coin. Like, it's just absolutely ridiculous. I don't see any difference between this and the NFTs of a couple of years ago. I think this is a bubble. I think this is a perfect example of it. And Yeah, I think eventually people will realize that real things are worth more than fake things, and that's where money will flow. So I could be wrong. And in case I'm wrong, I actually have some Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin just in case I'm wrong, but I don't think that I am. So thank you guys for being here. Be sure to check out the Roll Classroom, the Roll Classroom Plus. I will see you Wednesday with Adrian Day for the options class. Try out TradingView for free. All the links are in the pinned comment below. Thank you guys for being here. Love you guys. And be sure to support the show and share this with anyone that you think needs to hear it. It's probably your buddy that can't stop talking about tech stocks. You have yourself a great rest of the day, and we will talk to you next time.